Look at these little things. They look like little alien ships ready to take over the garden. Yes, they look like little aliens, but I'll tell you what, they actually walk or creep across the garden. Let me tell you about them. Welcome back to the garden, everybody. Who's ready to get their fingernails dirty today? Today we're going to talk about something that I found on the internet. Kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with this one, but I tell you what, that rabbit hole treats me very, very well. This is something that's going to be in my garden forever. I tell you, just like the comfrey plant, these things are going to always be in my garden. They'll be a staple in my pantry, and that is going to be these walking onions. These walking onions, they when you order them, you'll get these little bulbils. Let me see if I can find one right here. You'll get these little bulbils like this, and you plant them, and all you have to do is order like maybe a half a dozen of these just to make sure one of them comes up. You get one of them to come up, you're gonna have tons of them. Let me tell you, these guys are big, huge onions that just basically kind of walk across the garden. So if you're one of those lazy gardeners, sometimes I fit into that category. Sometimes I like getting my fingernails dirty, but sometimes I like being lazy. This is gonna be the plant for you. This guy is so easy to take care of, so easy to use. Just plant it once, forget about it. They are definitely not like their other cousins that I got planted over there, or I have to plant them, weed them, mulch them, water them, fertilize them, keep them growing. These guys, So let's get into it. The first thing you got to know about these guys is that they are going to consume whatever space they want to consume. So when you plant them, put them in a spot where you're going to plant them and prepare for them to walk over across to the next spot and to the next spot and to the next spot. Now when I say they walk, they will creep maybe about a foot a year. So you'll want to keep that in mind. And you can control the creeping as well with them. So it's not like it's an invasive plant, but if you just let them go, they're gonna go everywhere. I got them in my pathways. I have them in spots that I really don't care to have them in, but you know, they're an onion, so their footprint is pretty small. So I don't have to really worry about them taking up too much space. Now, as far as care goes with these guys, the only thing you really have to do to make sure that you get a consistent crop is make sure you harvest them. These guys are so hardy, self-reliant, that if you don't harvest them and weed them down a little bit, they're just gonna choke each other out. And then you're not gonna get a good harvest, and sooner or later, they're just gonna pretty much kill themselves because they're just gonna be able to choke themselves out and not have enough space. So that's the only really requirement that you need. There's no real big fertilizing requirement. Well, they handle drought real well. They handle our Illinois winters really well as well. So you don't really have to worry about these guys fading away. Just make sure that you give them the space, and that's what they need. And by giving them the space, pick them, eat them. That's what you need to do. Or if you have a bunch of bulbils like this, give them away. I've given plenty of these guys away in my lifetime. Now, where did I get these guys from? I got these guys off of the internet. I got them, I believe, off of eBay. Kind of weird I get plants off of eBay, but I do. But they come, and they'll come into little bitty bulbils that will look essentially like this. Just this little guy right here can produce a whole massive plot of onions year over year after year. Basically, you'll get these guys, you'll plant them about an inch into the soil. You want to get these guys in late summer, early fall at least, so they can withstand the winters. If you get them in the spring, even better. You can get them planted. They are one of the first things that do pop up here in my early Illinois spring weather that we have here. They'll take a frost. But basically you want to get them planted and you want to get them established so those roots develop so they can withstand those winters. So that's what you want to make sure when you guys get these in the mail. You'll make sure you get them in the ground before you get a frost. Don't plant them right when the frost comes, and then you're going to be wishing you had them in the ground a little bit earlier. So What you can do to plant these guys is break off the top set. Once you break them off like this, you're gonna have your top up here is gonna be the little pointy end. Sometimes they will have your already forming your little onions off there. You can just plant these like a regular onion. Basically, you put this guy in the ground, maybe put it in an inch deep. You're really not after the bulb for it. And then you'll see on here, it's got the side that's gonna form the root. So they'll root out pretty quick, pretty simple. Like I said, just consider your placement a little bit on these guys. These guys are fantastic companion plants. They will grow great with a lot of different plants. Plant them next to your tomatoes, plant them next to your peppers, plant them next to anything that you want to mask the smell of, essentially to keep any type of pest away. So plant them next to tomatoes will keep the tomato hornworm away because they won't be able to smell the plant as well. That's kind of the idea behind these guys. They're also fantastic companion plants because they take up such a small footprint. They're skinny and they go up. So that's not like they're gonna shade out a lot of other plants. So that makes them another fantastic companion plant. Next, let's move on to how I use these guys. Now, I will tell you, I had a bunch of these at one point in time that were bigger bulbs, just like this. I had these size of bulbs, and I took these bulbs, and I probably took probably anywhere from 300 to 500 of these bulbs, cut the top off of it, peeled each one, and pickled them all. Now, they were good, but they weren't that good. It was a lot of work. To me, it wasn't worth the time to sit there and peel all those onions and then get them all ready and prepped and then pickle them. Trust me, they went down before they went in the jar a lot quicker. So main thing here you gotta look at is don't be expecting to have little pickled bulbils. Now, the part that is the best part of this onion is going to be this part right here. Right here, when they're looking like this, of this size, this is a fantastic green onion. You can take that, chop it up, put it in your stir fries, put it in any type of dish that requires a green onion. Bam, you got it. You don't even have to go out to the grocery store to go get green onions anymore. You'll have all these tops that'll give you enough for these green onions. After a while, these onions will get big and woody. I'll just pull a whole plant for you guys. But you'll see here, this right here is a pretty woody stem. It's gonna be pretty tough. So you guys probably can't hear that. There you go. But this is a pretty tough little stem. What I do with this is I will take this stem and I will cut it into little bitty pieces all the way up the stem, throw it in the dehydrator. Once everything gets dehydrated, I usually will throw all those little pieces into the grinder. And once I get them ground up into the final little powder, it is fantastic. I tell you, it will be much of a sweeter powder than normal onion powder. So kind of take that with a little bit of hint, but it is a prime choice in my kitchen. I tell you, every time I cook meat, I'm putting that onion powder on everything. If something requires onion powder, I put that on everything. Matter of fact, if something requires onions and I have one available, I'm too lazy to chop one up, I just grab that onion powder and throw it in there. So it does wonders there. Now you notice on the bottom of here, you got the roots here. Look at them lovely roots, but you do have a little bit of a bulb. I've had these bulbs get a little bit bigger than this, maybe about just a shade bigger than a golf ball. But those onions, you can eat those as well. Just slice them up. They're going to be a little bit more spicy than a regular onion. I don't know if spicy is the right word to describe it, but it's going to be a little bit more spicy than a regular onion. You can also cut that up too and put it into your onion powder. I highly, if you can't tell, I highly recommend the onion powder. Also, with that onion powder, throw a little salt in there. There you go. You got your onion salt as well. So let's go over any pests or diseases that you can have with these guys. So far, I have to tell you, I have very, very, very little disease pressure in Illinois with these guys. There is hardly any disease pressure. The only thing I got going on here is that they grow and they grow and they grow. No plant, though, is immune from pests. I read on the internet where these guys get onion thrips and onion maggots. I haven't had that issue here. These guys are just plain hardy. They just grow. The worst thing that happens to them is I come out and obliterate the patch from time to time to get in my belly. So one last thing you can do with these guys once you get them in your possession is you're gonna have a ton of these guys. You guys are gonna have a bunch of bulbils that are gonna be ready to be planted. The best thing I can tell you to do is go out and be a gardener. Share these guys, send them across your county, across your town, across your state, across your country. These guys are a fantastic plant. They should be in everybody's garden. It's something that's going to be around forever and ever and ever in your garden. If you put it in, you will have a hard time killing it unless you harvest them all. Then you might not have any more onions. But if you leave one or two out there, you're guaranteed you're going to have onions for eternity. So why not share the wealth? I sent some onions out to Chad and Dale. I hope they got them in, and I hope they got them planted. Chad is at Down Home Backyard Gardening, and Dale over at OSKG, Old Southern Kitchen and Garden. So hopefully they enjoy these walking onions for years to come. We'll see. If you guys enjoyed this little walkthrough of my walking onions, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give me that thumbs up. Hype the video. There's nothing more hyped than walking onions, I'll tell you. Leave me a comment down below. Have you ever tried walking onions? Is that something that's kind of in your thought process with the garden? Do you think you'll ever want to use walking onions? I love them. They're easy plant to take care of. So easy to put in the kitchen. Something I definitely recommend. Cheers, everybody. God bless. Keep growing.